Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review. And this time for a movie on Halloween month, reviewing a film that I really enjoyed from last year. It was one of my favorites from last year, and in quite some time, I would say this is like the best shark film I've seen in a while, and that is The Shallows, released from last year, 2016. Stars Blake Lively, who I think now she's like married to Ryan Reynolds, I think. Because they started. I think they started together in Green Lantern. But she did a really great job. Good job of holding on her own in this film. And it's from a director that I do like. Jaume Collet-Serra. This is a guy I like. He's a couple of films he has I didn't really care for though, but most of the ones I do enjoy. House of Wax remake. I really do love. I think that's an underrated horror film remake. Um, he also directed Orphan. That's another good one. That's another good one I enjoy. Orphan. Then he directed Unknown with Liam Neeson, which that was one I'm not a fan of. But then the next one he with Liam Neeson was Nonstop from 2014. I really enjoy that one. I reviewed that one. I like. It's a good mystery thriller. It's hard enough to come by nowadays with mysteries. The next one with Liam Neeson was Run All Night. That's another one I'm not that big a fan of. But this film when he directed The Shallows, I really do enjoy. And it performed well critically and box office wise. Box office wise, on a budget of 17 million, it made 55 million domestically and worldwide 119 million. So it did really well. And has a 78% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 6.3 on IMDb. And it's got a good fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes right here, and it has all these critical notices on here, like here on breathtaking, terrifying, courageous, viscerally entertaining, fearless, survive, original, self-reliant, masterful on the back here. So, but I really enjoyed the film. And it's a simple story, it's straightforward. Story stars about Blake Lively, who's a medical student from Texas. She goes to this secluded beach that's in Mexico. It's a place where her mom's now has passed on, but she used to go there. And she's a medical student, and she gets dropped off by a local. And also about the opening, it opens up with a boy who finds a GoPro on a helmet, and shows footage, and it shows that the guy who wears the GoPro getting attacked by a shark. How the way he shows the shark attacking him, I like that. Which you'll see that boy again later. But that's like how the way it opens. I like that. And when she gets there, she's talking with some couple guys, and when she's all by herself, when she's going for one more survey, she sees she sees this dead whale. But when she's riding on a wave, you see Blake in the trailer. You see a silhouette shadow of a great white in the tide, knocks her off her board. And then it takes a bite out of her, bites her on the leg. And then she starts swimming for her life. She climbs onto the dead whale, which has chunks of it missing. And the whale is and you get some good amount of practical stuff in this film, which I appreciate. Like the dead whale, that's a good looking practical effect. And the shark too. There's some good practical moments with the shark as well, which I do appreciate in that as well. Of course, when you see it's Foley, it's CGI, but I can tolerate it. It doesn't look that bad because with the budget it has, it looks pretty decent CGI, and except the cheap, mediocre ones I see on Sci-Fi Channel. Those are just beyond mediocre. But since the film they gave a bit of a budget to put in some practical usage, and the CG is not that bad on the shark. So, but then the shark is gonna go swim full force because it's gonna try to knock her off the whale, but she sees some rocks. She jumps off when it hits it. But she makes it to the rocks, and she steps on some fire coral things, what they are called, fire coral. And she gets a real nasty wound on her leg. He tries to stitch it up with her parts of her necklace, and it really gets really cringe. I got it really cringy because how the way it's a nasty wound looking, and she's trying to stitch it up, and it just seems really painful, and just ooh. But it's gonna be all right. But she's stranded on that rock. And a lot of parts of the movie, I think with Jaume Collet-Serra, he took notes from his own film like Nonstop, because in Nonstop I like where it showed like when he's texting or showing pictures, it shows like the images of the text of the picture right here or over here. You get that in when she's like doing a text or taking pictures, or she's on a video chat with her friend, because a friend was supposed to come with her but she couldn't make it though. So I like the use of these. Jaume Collet-Serra still use some of that from Nonstop. So I like the usage because also she's checking her watch at the time, and and it's like I think she's like about 200 yards away from the shore, and she tries to make it tense, but she couldn't because of the shark. But while she's on the rock, she's also stranded with this seagull here, which I actually like the seagull. I thought that's a character on its own. It's with her for most of the movie. Like it had like a dislocated like a wing, but she resets it. which kind of reminds it's like Castaway with Tom Hanks when he's talking to a volleyball what was the character's name which that becomes a character like the volleyball. I think it was called a Wilson. So it's kind of like that, but it's a seagull she's talking to. And by the time it comes to nighttime, she sees this guy on the beach. She's like, "Hey, hey," and the guy goes through her stuff and he takes her phone. Wait, because of course the guy's drunk as well, but of course I would say that I do buy that, because someone would try to steal the stuff and take it on their own. But then he sees the surfboard, he goes into the water, and then he disappears. But we see him crawling on the shore. And we found that he's been bitten in half. His legs are gone. And I was like, oh man, And this is good. This is rated PG-13, so you get a amount of good stuff for a PG-13 shark film. You see a guy getting bit in half, and then by the next day, the two guys are from earlier. They come back surfing, and I like the way it shows a wide shot of them in the water, and a little far away, like over here, the shark pops out, and just grabs one guy, and the guy who had the GoPro cam, he's the one who has the GoPro cam. He's swimming, and he tries to climb onto the rock, but gets taken, killed. And she sees the GoPro. She tries to make an attempt to grab it. She does, and then when she turns her back like this, and all of a sudden, boom! The shark gets a extreme close-up shot of the shark getting right in her face, like ah! I was like, oh man, that's the next shot. The shark just an exact close-up of the shark just comes out mouth wide open. I was like, oh no, just like that gave me like, oh. Still good use of practical effects as well. The shark, which I can still see, and that's good. That's always a good thing. And it gets also gets stung by fire coral as well. And she gets the GoPro, makes it safely back on the rock. But it's not until some time now just not enough time, because high tide is coming in. It's gonna cover up the rock she's standing on, and she takes the GoPro, looks at it, she sees the footage of like the shark. She sees like a hook gets stuck in its mouth, and then she tries to make a sort of like a last will and testament because in case she doesn't make it to her to whoever gets finds this. And I like with the seagull, she's like I'm not alone, but I'm with this guy here, Steven Seagal. I thought that was kind of pretty hilarious, which I'm appreciating they don't overdo it. Oh, Steven Seagal, you get it? Ha ha ha, you get it? That's the pun. No, she doesn't overdo it. She just casually says, "Oh, I'm with this little guy here, Steven Seagal." So I'm glad they didn't overdo that little joke there. So it was just you know calm. Just trying to get everything in what's going on before she severs everything. She says her parents and her father and sister. Then she throws it, tries to see if it will go to shore, and she takes the seagull. Puts on a broken surfboard. Which earlier, because the guy who was surfing tries to make it to the shore, breaks the surfboard, just chucks it up in the air, and she takes that broken piece and sends the seagull on the piece that's broken and just lets him drift away. It's like you're gonna be okay. You're gonna make it. And see the little seagull just drift away, and she's gonna attempt to make it to this buoy, and there's jellyfish comes up, but she knows that the shark getting stung by the coral, but it's like being stung by jellyfish. So she's gonna swim in between the jellyfishes, which she's getting stung too. The shark attempts to get her, but it's getting stung by jellyfish also, so he can't go in there. And you see good looking coloring as the jellyfish are glowing, good looking colorization. Then she does make it to the buoy, and she gets a flare gun. She drops all the flares, but she grabs them, and she sees a boat in the distance. Tries to get signal, but doesn't reach. And a couple of her duds as well. So now she tries to fight the shark. She shoots one. Shoots a flare and hits the shark. And then of course she swims over towards where there's this oil, the oil that's spewing from the whale oil. And I like more she goes and says, fuck you, and shoots it and sets the oil on fire. And you see the shot, the CGI of the shark and which pops off, pops up on fire. Obviously, that's done a lot better in Jaws 2 when you see the shark on fire. But I can give it to because the CGI of the shark doesn't look that half bad. So I can give that. I can give that. I can forgive that because it's not that bad looking CGI of the shark because there's still a lot of practical moments. But when it shows the wide shots with full body of the shark, obviously it's CGI. But I'm willing to forgive it for that because it doesn't. I don't think it doesn't look that bad. I think it looks pretty decent effects of the CGI of the shark. And she's about to be knocked over, is getting all the chains off. But she knows that she sees this one chain that leads down all the way down the bottom where the buoy was hooked on, and it's kind of like an anchor has all these rods sticking out. So she rides the chain all the way down to the bottom, and the shark's following. And there's a different way how she kills the shark when she pulls aside at the last minute, then the shark just comes in and just impales himself right through the mouth. Like this, and I'm like... So, different way to kill a shark is instead of the typical, just blowing it up or something. So that was a different way for the shark to get killed. Okay, it got impaled by the metal rods. And then the boy who found the GoPro gets that the guy who dropped her off from earlier gets her. She's on the beach, and she sees the seagull, Steven Seagal. He's on the beach, so he made it as well. So I was like, good, the seagull survived because that's a character that I care about. I care about the seagull. So he makes it on the beach, and then it cuts to a year later where she's back at home. Well, yeah, I think she's back at war on a beach. I think in Texas. I think where she's with her father and her sister. And then it cuts to during the credits has this song which I thought was pretty decent, and like shows the different colorings of the waters and during the credits. So I like that. So, but yeah, and Blake Lively, she did a really good job. She's a girl. It's a nice survival film. That's what it is. Basically, a survival. She's struggling. She's struggling to survive. So she's to try to outsmart the shark and do what she can to survive. She to the point where she has to fight the shark to survive, and it's good. It's good. It's a good survival stuff, you know. And I thought Blake Lively did a really good job, and probably even the seagull, cute looking seagull. I'll even give credit to the trailer who does like the trainers of the animals, whatever. The seagull I like, and I'm glad the seagull lived. Steven Seagal. I was good, well made by Jaume Collet-Serra, and the effects. I'm gonna do the effects here, but it was good effects, some good practical usage, like the dead whale, and the shark. When I think it was like up close, good practical stuff. But on the wide shots of the shark when it's full body, CGI was not that bad to me. Even when it popped out on fire, I know it's obviously done better in Jaws 2. If you know why I'm talking about that scene. And the music by Marco Beltrami, decent score, and it's also not that long of a movie. It's under 90 minutes, I think, 86 minutes. So it's not that long of a movie without the end credits. It's about 80 minutes, and it's really short movie, and it's fast paced as well. It kept me seeing what was gonna happen. She could get out of this. Which of course she does though, but what she's doing is trying to survive against the shark, and the shark is just trying to get her as much as he can, but she fights back and she gets it out of the way, tricking it, and gets impaled right through those metal rods. And it's a different way to kill a shark instead of just typical just blowing it up. As for special features, it has deleted scenes, how to build a shark, shooting in the shallows, finding a perfect beach, Lord Ho Island, when sharks attack. Yeah, the beach. I like the location of the beach. It looks a good looking, beautiful location. Overall, yeah, I really enjoyed The Shallows. It's probably has been like the best shark film I've seen. I have not yet seen 47 meters down. I still have not yet to see that though, but the shallow one, it's another good, it's probably the best shark film I've seen in quite some time. And it opened on the same weekend as a piece of shit Independence Day Resurgence, and I say this is a hell of a lot better than Independence Day Resurgence, because that was such an insult of a sequel, which didn't need to be a sequel anyway. I even said the shark was a much better villain than the actual aliens. Blake Lively was better than the lead young guy who played like the son of Will Smith. She's a lot better of a lead, or Liam Hemsworth. Yeah, definitely a lot better than Independence Day Resurgence. That film can kiss my ass. Such an insult. This I really do enjoy. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed my review of The Shallows. A good shark film. Definitely worth a watch. If you've not seen it, check it out. And still more to come during Halloween month. Still got a few stuff to do, but I'll get to it. But yeah, that's my review of The Shallows. I would definitely give it 2 thumbs up. I really did enjoy it. It's definitely one of my favorites of 2016. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned on the next movie review. Later.